Hi everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Colorado. Welcome back to All Up in Your Business, where today I'm going to tell you about 5 things that you can do before the end of the year to save on taxes, make sure your business is legally compliant, and just generally get ready for your business to go into 2023. Before we get into those 5 things, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video, and check the description for links to additional information and resources. So somehow, I don't know, believe it or not, we're actually already at the end of 2022. I am filming this the week of Thanksgiving, and before we know it, we're gonna be into a whole brand new year. And of course, with a new year, new beginnings, fresh starts, New Year resolutions, all these fun things that come along with the new year. Along with that, of course, is a new business year too. And when we're going into a new year or ending off the year, it's a great opportunity to look over everything we've done, see how we can improve for the next year, and make sure we have tied up all of our loose ends and done everything we need for our business. So what's the first thing that you can do to get ready for 2023? If you aren't already, perhaps start thinking about making an S corporation election for your business. This, of course, isn't going to apply to every business. If your business is formed as an LLC or maybe a corporation taxed as a C corporation, then you might be eligible to make an S corporation tax election for your business. And doing this can potentially save a significant amount of taxes for you and your business. There's no hard and fast rule about when it's good to be taxed as an S Corp, or when you're making this amount of money, that's when you should make that tax election. There's no such real rule about that, but generally speaking, it typically becomes worth it and a good idea as you get into the 6-figure mark. If your business is making well under $100,000, it's probably not going to be worth the additional time and effort that goes into an S Corp. But if you're making close to $100,000 or above $100,000 in your business, then talk to your accountant or your tax advisor about making an S Corp election starting in 2023. And while you're talking to your tax advisor or maybe your financial advisor, your financial planner, perhaps you can also talk to them about the second thing you can do to get ready for 2023, retirement contributions, my friends. Yes, let's plan for retirement because, the economy's not at its best right now. We don't know what's going to happen in 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years when we start retiring, so we want to start planning for it now. And retirement planning is a great way to reduce your taxes for your business if you're self-employed as well. Things like SEP, S-E-P, IRAs, self-employed pension IRA, I think is what that stands for, or a solo 401k are great retirement options for self-employed people. And depending on what you have, like with a SEP IRA, for example, you can make tax-deductible contributions up until the day that you file your taxes. So even if you make a contribution in, let's say, February of 2023, if you don't file your taxes until after that, you can still deduct for 2022 that contribution in 2023. Of course, that's not always the case, and not everyone has certain retirement accounts set up. But like I said, talk to your tax or financial advisor about maybe making an additional contribution or starting to contribute to your retirement to save on taxes and, of course, save for the future. The third thing you can do right now, or before the end of the year at least, make sure you have filed your periodic report or your annual report if your state requires it. Most states, not all of them, but most states have some kind of regular annual filing requirement, a statement of information, a periodic report, some kind of annual report that we have to file on a yearly basis. Some states are every 2 years. Of course, it's going to depend on where your LLC or your corporation is registered, but make sure you didn't miss a filing deadline for this year. If you did, get that corrected and get it filed right now. And let's think to next year. Mark on your calendars when when that next year report is going to be due as well, so you don't miss it next year. If you need to make any changes with your business, maybe your business address has changed, maybe your registered agent for your business has changed, we can typically also make those updates or those adjustments when we file that annual report. So it's kind of a double whammy where we get to stay compliant and update our business's information with the state if we need to as well. The fourth thing that you should be doing before the end of the year to make sure you are legally compliant and ready for 2023 is to hold an annual meeting if you haven't already done so. This may or may not be required depending on the type of entity you have and the state where it's registered. Some states will require that a corporation, for example, have an annual or regular meeting of the shareholders or the board of directors. Some states may require that the members or managers of an LLC hold an annual meeting. It also might depend on your operating agreement or your bylaws or your internal governing documents. If your operating agreement, for example, says that the members must meet on an annual basis, hold an annual meeting, then that's what you've got to do. You've got to follow what your operating agreement or your governing documents say. And even if it's not required, even if your state is one that doesn't require any kind of formal meeting for an LLC for the members or managers or something, and maybe your operating agreement doesn't address it either, even if it's not legally required, it's still a good idea to hold some kind of annual meeting of the members or managers of an LLC or board of directors, shareholders for your corporation as well. Also, you might be able to get out of this actual meeting and do kind of a written consent in lieu of a formal meeting, again, depending on your state's laws and the operating agreement or bylaws as well. And finally, the last thing that you can do before the end of the year to make sure you are capping off 2022 well and going into 2023 fully ready is to review all of your contracts. And yeah, I mean really all of them because they're all important. Review all of your contracts because I bet some of them may have already expired this past year. Maybe they've gone into some kind of month-to-month term. I bet you have some contracts that are going to be due for termination or renewal in the next year. Sometimes we have advance notice requirements. If we want to terminate a contract with somebody else, we have to give them 30 days notice. If we want to terminate a contract next year and we have to give them 30 days notice, we better know when we have to give that notice. So, mark on your calendars, hey, we're gonna notify of terminating this contract by this date. But review those contracts, see if there are opportunities to negotiate terms in any of your contracts that may be coming up for renewal or that you might be able to adjust or get some favorable terms, maybe reduce your costs, save some money there too. And I find that reviewing contracts is kind of similar to almost doing a budget. It really makes you look at where's your money going. If I have to dig up all the contracts with all of my different vendors or my different contractors, I'm gonna have to read over the contract, see what am I getting from this person? Is this still something I really need? Are the terms of this contract still necessary for me? It really helps you to kind of review what's been going on in your business so you can adjust and improve moving forward. And there you have it, 5 things that you can do right now or before the end of the year to make sure you're fully complete with 2022 and going into 2023 ready for success. I've got one little extra bonus 6th tip that you can do. It's not really business related, but if you want to start off your holiday shopping now and start buying all your gifts for your loved ones and your family members, tip number 6 is pick up some great All Up in Your Business merch for your loved ones. People will love it. Pick up a Rocky sweatshirt now for your favorite All Up in Your Business fan in your life. If you learned a thing or two in this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Make sure you've subscribed and click the little bell so you get notified when I post a new video. I started off this one talking about S corporations and making an S Corp election. If that is a brand new term to you, or if you're like, what's an S Corp? I got a whole video talking about exactly what an S Corp is and why it may or may not be beneficial for you. So you can click right there to check that out. I'll meet you over there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time. Good. I hope that's good. Ugh.